Halong Bay almost doesn't look real on social media, but today we're finding out if it's actually worth the hype. Thousands of limestone cliffs rising straight out of the water like something out of a movie. We're the Blazer Travelers, and we're 1 month into our 3-month journey around Asia and the Pacific. Vietnam is country number 6. We are spending a total of 2 weeks here, and we have been in Hanoi for a few days. Now is our day trip. But after already going to Phi Phi Island in Thailand and El Nido in the Philippines, is this going to live up? So let's trade Hanoi's traffic and motorbike taxis for catamarans and emerald water.
Alright, so we made it to stop number 1, which is this 15-minute rest stop. All of these tours have rest stops where you can get a bathroom break, you can buy food. I just bought a bao bun. It was 25,000, which is a little pricey. In the city, it's probably like 15. The coffee here is 40,000, but it makes sense because this is the only stop for all of these tour companies. As you can see, there's cars, there's buses all around me as well. So if you need to use the bathroom or get some food, it's really good. Dang, there's a Maybach right in behind me. It's crazy because there's so many G-Wagons I've been seeing, so many Mercedes as well. And then you got the Maybach parked right in front. But we're gonna start moving again. This is the longest tour that we've probably done in a while because it's 3 hours to Hanoi and then 3 hours back to Hanoi at the end of the day. And I'm pretty sure like 5-6 hours, so it's like 12 hours total. He said we're gonna get back at 9:30. We had to get to the meeting spot at like 8:30, so it's a 13-hour tour. I think we have like another hour and a half, but time to head back on the bus.
So I'll get straight into the point because I know you're wondering how much this tour cost. It cost us $43.07, which is not bad considering it was a full day tour and the bus was actually nice and well equipped.
Okay, so where I will ask you, anybody want to do kayaking, rowing boat or speedboat? Okay, then I will book the tickets for you.
And while the tour guide did have a deep Vietnamese accent, he was pretty easy to understand and spoke pretty well English. It wasn't until we got to the water that we realized how beautiful this place was. So it took us another hour and a half on schedule to make it to the dock. And then once we got to the dock, we headed on the water. The name of the tour on Get Your Guide is Halong Bay Full Day 4-Star Experience, which the link will be down below, but it's not budget, but it's not fully luxury. As you can see here, this typical island trip tour food looks pretty luxury to me. They even had a whole fish.
Like it? You like the food?
Quick little baby break, but as you can see, she enjoyed it. This might not matter much to you, but this is the name of the boat. I'm guessing the boat company, even though when we booked on Get Your Guide, it was through a homestay who was the operator, but if you want to book them directly, that's it.
Very busy because too many people that have been busy.
This is crazy. Right now we're outside of Sung Sot Cave, which is the first stop on this tour, and it is absolutely insane over here. The tour guide said it should take 20 minutes, but they're gonna give us an hour here. When we got here, he was mentioning everybody has the day off, everybody's traveling today. While everybody's traveling, they also decided let's go on vacation to Halong Bay. I thought it was gonna take maybe 40 minutes. We've been in line for about 30 minutes now. That's not even the cave. He said 20 minutes for the cave if you're fast, 30 minutes so far just waiting in line. So probably an hour and a half before we get there. It is so packed right now. Everybody's wondering, do we need to stop here? I'm pretty sure some tour guides are also just saying, hey, we can't stay here. We have to get back on, and they're calling the boats to come back, and then everybody's getting out of line. Hopefully we make it to the top, but you can see all the people behind us, but it's like way up the stairs inside the cave as well. So we probably got another 20-25 minutes before we even get up to the entrance of the cave.
So the temperature is so much different in here. It feels so good. I don't want to go back outside. As you can see, it's dark. There's different areas that are paved with light and some areas that don't have light, which is why you see the lighting changing so much. It is a pretty beautiful and huge cave. This is one of the biggest ones I've been in, actually. The one in Malaysia is actually pretty big as well. I believe it was Gua Temperung, which was by Ipoh. That cave was definitely not as touristy, and we had to get a taxi there. Getting out was hard as well, but it was worth it. Wow.
There's like limestone, granite, lime rock. I'm gonna keep listing rocks like I know what I'm talking about, but this is crazy. This is definitely worth it. I can't wait to see what the rest of the trip is like.
Next up, I believe this is Hanoi. I don't know what it is exactly, but this was the stop that we got to actually get into the water and enjoy it. You had the option to choose either a solo kayak, double kayak, or get into the rowboat with like 8 other people. We decided to do the rowboat because we've normally done the kayaks. We wanted to relax, but also we had a baby, so we didn't trust ourselves fully yet with the baby. She still needs swim lessons. It was pretty relaxing. I do give these guys props because it was one person rowing everyone, so it's a lot of stamina. For sure we're tipping him after this, but it's beautiful as you can see.
All these people. He looks stressed.
Because of that delay earlier, I believe we only had like 25-30 minutes here. About 20 of that was on the water. Highly recommend listening to them and ducking when they say duck, because I've seen someone hit the head not paying attention. She enjoyed it, as you can see her little smile.
Today, we have 45 minutes at the Tito Island.
Right now we're at T-Top Island, or I'm at T-Top Island because Kat is still on the boat. And honestly, it's all right. It's such a small island. It's no PP Island. I have to stop doing it. I have to stop comparing stuff to other places I've been, just like I did earlier with Gua Temperung and all of that. But it's a pretty chill, relaxed area out of all the areas. It's the only area so far during this tour that has a beach connected to it. But there's just so many people here.
Told you, it was too many people here, way too packed. This was probably my least favorite of all of them, probably my least favorite beach destination of all the excursions I've ever went on. But the other 2 things we did beforehand definitely made up for this. Now, as I said earlier, when it comes to chilling, worst beach ever. But when it comes to just the views and seeing the nature and the mountains, top tier beach.
And it's probably our fault for coming during a public holiday like this. I can see it being a lot more relaxing. But there isn't that much food options. The only hot food is like hot dogs. I'm used to when we go to those islands in Thailand, Phuket or whatever, basically there's tons of food. You can get burgers, you can get fish, grilled fish, anything you want. You can get smoothies and you can get drinks. They have drinks here, but there's no food. What did I just get? Space Oreos and chips that are $2 when in the city there'll be $1, less than $1. These Oreos were $1, which is already a little bit expensive, but we're only here for 20 more minutes and then we'll head back to Hanoi.
They surprised us with a little snack. Didn't see this in the reviews. Have some Vietnamese wine, some little rice crackers, and some local fruits. Love those little shrimp rice crackers. Met with a beautiful view of some lights and the pier at the port. And then got dropped back off at the city, where we got dropped off right in front of this cafe. They had a little bit of live music going on. It was a pretty cute shop and it was severely packed. Now the coffee was decent, but I think it had to do with the fact that it was raining, so people just wanted to be outside of the rain. As you can see here with the traffic, it's still pretty busy even during rain in Vietnam. So we actually made a rookie mistake. Normally we get SIM cards with cell service so we can call places beforehand. We haven't done that in Vietnam yet. And we actually left the main area to go next to our Airbnb, and everything was closed that we went to go eat. And so we actually had to eat like 7-Eleven meals because the burger place was closed. So I always suggest people calling the Google number to see if they're open even on the holidays, because it's not accurate, especially after COVID. If you want to watch the rest of our Hanoi videos or anything we did in Ho Chi Minh or Central Vietnam, click the link right here to get started.